And as the theme is young, black, and powerful, I just want to emphasize on it because I believe you all know what being young is, what being black is, what being powerful is. So I have my own definition on that, and I'd like to leave it with you and then see where you guys take it. One thing I always say whenever I speak to youngsters is that the beauty of what we do is that you can all hear. But the sadness about it is that only one, if not more, will take what we have to say and apply it in your life. And honestly, I am a testimony of that. So without any further ado, being young. What makes you young is living in the new age. What makes you young is being in school. What makes you young is knowing that we're young and let's live. This is the new age. Crop tops, shorts, again, partying, clubbing, alcohol. What makes you young? So there's a different type of young. I can attest to being young, but I don't tell myself that, no, I'm still studying, so let me focus on my studies. I recognized what I have. I recognized the gift that I have. And I said, I'm going to use it as young as I am. And why can't you? So being young, you have a decision, you have a choice that you can make between being young and living for being young, like the world is saying you should live for being young. Or you can live for being young and decide that, wait a minute, I'm young. What can I do about the fact that I'm young? What impact is there in my being young? Because I don't think if there was a speaker about 43 years old and they come to talk to you about young, black, and powerful, what would they say to you? Because they don't know anything about crop tops. They don't know anything about boyfriends. They don't know anything about clubbing. They don't know anything about peer pressure. Because back in the days, they never had peer pressure. What was that? So you have a choice between young and being black. You know, there's a stereotype that I don't like. That, why are you being black? What is being black? Why are you being ratchet? There is this category that where black people are placed. That no, but no one to money. Have you stay somewhere? Yeah, wherever anywhere where there is chaos, it is associated with being black. My definition of being black is my circumstances. There is absolutely no difference between you and a person attending or Crawford private school. There is absolutely no difference between your circumstance and a circumstance that a rich person is going through. And I would like to tell you of how fortunate you are that you are black and you have the circumstances that you have today. Why? For instance, with me, I've never seen an allowance in my entire life. I've never gotten pocket money. Until even today, you can check in my bag. If I had always had lunchbox, I wouldn't appreciate the Joseph High. I wouldn't appreciate the hard work that my grandmother put for me to get to where I am. Another circumstance that a lot of us face as being black. I think you can all, most of us, we can attest to that. It's not everyone where you find a mom, a dad, and a family, just like most white people. I'm not stereotyping, I'm stating a fact, because I can attest to the fact that my father wants nothing to do with me. But I took my circumstance of the rejection that my father is giving me right now, and I said, all right, that's fine. I'm black. And what was fought for me in 1994 and the years before, I'm going to use that and lead by example. So that when my father, who placed me in the circumstance of financial instability, of rejection and lack of love and a lack of a happy family, when he sees me one day, standing on a podium, or he sees my face on a billboard, he will ask himself, why did I reject this child? So that's a circumstance that you can use people ask themselves, just because you come from a shack does not mean you must dress like a shack.
Come on.
Just because you were raped doesn't mean you must behave like you were raped. Just because you were told that having fun is drinking, having fun is alcohol, does not mean you must look for fun in drinking and alcohol and parties and crop tops and twerking. Because I made a decision. I knew my purpose. And I looked, yes, go higher when I leave, but I told myself that no, before my grandmother leaves this earth, I want her to walk around a staircase in the house. I want her, here's a present. Because it is automatic, you can drive and go wherever you want. Because I'm black. Because my grandmother never had the opportunity to be in a Mercedes-Benz. Because my mother, even today, is unemployed. Because my mother still doesn't have a car. Because my mother still doesn't have a house of her own today. Those are my circumstances of being black. And I told myself that I will reject partying, I will reject drinking, I will reject going out and flashing what I have at guys just so that I can be appreciated. I looked at my circumstances. Ladies, you don't need eyeliner to feel beautiful. You don't need Brazilian weave. You don't need braiding. You don't need absolutely anything that needs to be added onto you just so you can feel beautiful. Guys, you don't need alcohol. You don't need money. You don't need a girl just so you can be respected. And you don't need to sleep with a girl or make her feel like there is no love in a relationship just because you want to feel like a man. If you want to be young men and young women of power, which is where I'm getting to, you need to recognize who you are. You need to know where you come from. You need to respect where you come from. Because as you are matrix, right? You're going to university and you will be pressured, trust me, you will face challenges that are going to force you to resolve to mediocre. There is nothing sexy about a girl who wants money from a man. Yes. Because I was there, I'm third year in university, so I have seen all the ups and downs, lack of a better word, of life. And because I'm telling you that you don't need a weave when you get to university, because you will feel like you need a weave when you get to university. And I felt like I needed a weave. But then I remembered that no, I didn't pay for this weave. My mom didn't pay for this weave. So I don't need a weave to look beautiful. I don't need a weave to feel appreciated. So I looked at where I come from and I decided to cut my hair. Because I can't afford to buy a weave yet. So being powerful. The definition of power is the ability and the capacity to do or act in any way. You have power. Why do you have power? Because just like anyone with better opportunities in a private school, they have eyes, they have lips, they have ears, they have fingers, they have nails, they have absolutely everything that you have. And as privileged as you are, I believe that you have books, and you have an education, and you have good teachers that are willing to give themselves to you just to produce greatness within you. Don't take advantage of that. You are powerful in the fact that, yes, but you have the ability to wake up in the morning and study and make sure you produce distinctions so that universities can come after you. You don't rush and look for space because our applier and your box are just so bad. You have the power to decide that yes, today. But I will actively, with intention, wake up in the morning and work. Hard work doesn't only start in university. It doesn't only start with tomorrow, it starts now. There is no better time than now. So it's all up to you. Another definition that I like about power is that technically it's called a supply of a device with mechanical or electrical engineering. I know that sounds very technical because I'm also I get up in maths and physics and all of that. But when I thought about it and I asked myself, how am I going to interpret that so that you can understand the power in power? Is that when you supply yourself, when you supply your hard work into anything that you want to achieve, you can light that thing into electrical and mechanical energy. Because the power that you would have applied in all of that and your energy and your hard work, there's no way that they will ignore you. You will do what you do so well that they will find it difficult to ignore you. You can be an artist, you can be a singer, you can be a painter, an engineer, whatever it is that you love doing. Do it so well that people from East London, you would ask yourself, how did they find you? How on earth? It is because what you do, the energy that you put in, which is power, will produce excellence. And guys, it's really sad. I decided to do this on a living. I want to do this for the rest of my life. Because I know that there is that one person in here that is going to realize their own power. I'm not doing this for me. This is for you. You are young. You are born in a new age. And you are black because of your parents and the fight that your forefathers fought. So you can sit and speak English. And you are powerful because you have hands, you have eyes, you have a brain, you have ears, and you have feet to walk. A lot of people don't have that. You have hands and you have a mouth to proclaim what you want in life. Anything that you put your mind to, you can achieve it. That's what my grandfather told me. And this is what I live to share. What the mind of man can conceive, the mind of man can achieve. What the mind of man can conceive, the mind of man can achieve. So be young and never forget what makes you black.